Hi, welcome to the Andrew Buckle book review of covers of the Saturday Evening Post. 70 years of outstanding illustration. Now, I love illustrations and some really brilliant illustrations. So many brilliant artists all the way through this. This is 298 pages. You can see it's a nice hardback there. And the book came out in 1998. Should be readily available, certainly in the States. Not probably so easy accessible in the UK. I had to send away the States to get this book, so I'm just going to quickly run through it. Now, apparently, and I must admit, wasn't following it back then, in 1821, the Saturday Evening Post came out. It doesn't, unfortunately, feature any covers from that period, which is very odd, nor does it include sort of 1897, 1898, etc., which is very odd as well. But it does have some fairly large ones. Obviously, these of around about 1906, 1907, etc. So you've got a fair couple of reasonably sized ones, not full page ones, of course. And Saturday Evening Post is quite a big magazine. I've only got one copy of the Saturday Evening Post. Should buy some more, but I haven't. So, and of course, probably some of these very, very early ones, 1903, I imagine are very expensive. So you've obviously got some text, not a huge amount, but it gives obviously a lot of background detail about all the various artists, what was happening, the thoughts behind it, what was covered in the various magazines, because of course you can see how it changes over the decades. All the various styles. You've got things like obviously the trains, etc. And as well as obviously many other topics that are included. Obviously the sports of the period. And that's, I think, quite fascinating. Just going through it, seeing all the various ones, obviously all the way from September the 1st, 1900s, 1901, 1902, etc. And on that you've got 16 per page. So it's got a fairly small, obviously very, very tiny, but at the same time, I think you can quite easily see what was sort of included, and some actually include a lot more detail about the issue. So something like the young line of Dedan, letters from a self-made merchant to his son, etc. Of course, there were stories and many other things. Sometimes it's really hard to work out whether one's a story or whether one's obviously an article about something or something else. But some absolutely glorious ones all the way through this, and obviously the presidents, etc. There's Roosevelt there. Goes through, so you can see a sort of history of the States in this magazine. So all the various things, even like the Beatles, whatever, I noticed appear later. You got that, and I love the Christmas ones as well. You can see all the style, obviously, of Christmas ones, and let's just go for a Christmas one here. Oh, this one doesn't look obviously as Christmassy in the sense of the, so we got the December 1922 there. And you can see the fashions, of course, as it changes, and obviously the fashions of the artwork. And it also includes, of course, very usefully, the detail of the artists. So you've got like there, Harrison Fisher. Don't ask me anything about Harrison Fisher. I'm certain he's a very famous one. June 13th, 1908. Actually, I'm just going to take this off. So I'm just going to remove that. It's going to end up getting creased somewhere along the line. And you can see the actual book. Actually, not much on there. That's very surprising. I would have thought something a bit more fancy than that. However, you got some more covers, and it's just great just going through it. And I'm not certain, I don't know. I must admit, I haven't gone through it to see if every single month or every single week is included. No idea. So, but it's still absolutely glorious to see all these drawings and paintings. Absolutely beautiful all the way through, page after page after page, and it's just full. Ow! Just end up cutting myself on the paper. But it's just absolutely brilliant. I assume that's obviously the war period. Yeah, June 1918. So you've got obviously the rest. And like I say, you've got some more of these slightly bigger ones as well. They're in the articles about it. And then you go straight into, you've got Leyendecker. I've got a book about Leyendecker. So there's some art of his there. And many others. Many, I must admit, Norman Rockwell, I've heard of him. Obviously reasonably famous. So you've got a Norman Rockwell there. Now, I imagine those ones go probably quite a lot. So it's really great just seeing these guys. It's a pity that there's not more books of what was actually the material inside all these ones. But some of these covers are absolutely glorious. I mean, they really are. That looks a beautiful one. E.M. Jackson there. Absolutely glorious. And you've got other ones. And, of course, as it gets further and further, you can really see the quality. Really punchy, lovely covers there. Just absolutely cool. The Saturday Evening Post. Actually, the Saturday Evening Post, it doesn't seem that they changed the head title at all, really. It sort of stayed much the same for quite a long time. Obviously, it did change at some point, but it's that was a lot later. But they just, this one, 1937, just beautiful. John Lagatta, Garden of the Moon, just absolutely glorious there, just down there. just beautiful book all the way through. And let's just go through. Obviously, you've got the war period, 1940s. And you've got again, some lovely, obviously, Adolf Hitler there. Looking a bit dejected there, sitting on, I don't know, well, just a step or something there. Many other pictures. And obviously, this is into 1948, post-war. And book's going to tip over there. And it's just beautiful. Actually, recently I've just seen loads of 1951s, and the covers are just absolutely... Unfortunately, they're all sealed magazines, so I couldn't actually look at them. I would have loved to have gone through them and maybe bought a few, because they're just brilliant. I just think... And like I said, the one I've got is absolutely superb. It's 1961, and just absolutely beautiful, lovely stories and articles and things. And there's some more. And it always... Now, of course, after a while, it changes. And so what happens, of course, with lots of things, all suddenly became photos. And still, I have to say, some of the covers actually look pretty good. I mean, they're not bad at all. Some of these people, I'm not certain. Fred Ward, Blake Hampton, name's familiar. And you can see the covers there. Obviously, Bridget Bardot. And Bob Dylan, I saw, is in this as well. Of course, the Beatles, The Assassin, Mamas and Papas on the cover there. The Post. And wow. I mean, I would just... And there's obviously an index at the back, which is always very good, having an index. Now, I mean, this book is just superb. I wish lots of sort of magazines would have these sort of big books, because some of these magazines run for years. Women's Weekly, Women's Own, whatever. Just to be, and that's obviously in the UK, you know, it'd be brilliant to see all the small covers, see how it changes over time. And unfortunately, most of those magazines are virtually impossible to get anyway. I mean, you can find them on eBay, etc. But it's just absolutely stunning. Really, really love this sort of book. I mean, as soon as I saw it listed, I thought, oh, that's really good. Saturday Evening Post, because I'll probably never get any of these, so it's just great to see the covers, and just you can see all the text here. It's very easy to read. Liberations in Like Childbirth, well, I assume it is, yeah, by Ernest G. Something. Sometimes some of the text is a little bit hard to read. Actually, it's very, very small. We're not talking huge text there. The thundering herd of Wall Street, and you can, I say, just about read the text there. But it's a fascinating book. If you want a book about, well, if you love illustrations like I do, I'm certain this is a must-have to get. So I would recommend this straight away. Definitely check it out. And I think brilliant, absolutely brilliant, very quality all the way through. Nice, really nice paper, very, very, and you can just about see through it. I mean, I'm not saying it's 100%, it's not super thick in that respect, but if it was super thick, this book would be even heavier, because it's quite a hefty book. So you've just got here. So it's 298 pages, and wow, I love it. Absolutely brilliant. And probably by doing this now, I've noticed all the smudge marks already from my hands. So maybe I should keep this on, of course. But this is a really good book. Definitely recommended. Covers of the Saturday Evening Post, 70 years. Now, it unfortunately doesn't feature later on. Obviously, it stops. I think it's doesn't go all the way past. What time does it go to? About 1969. Doesn't include all 1972, 73, 74, etc. Because apparently, I don't know, because I'm not in the States, it apparently changed. So the magazine was no longer, I think it was monthly or quarterly or something. So I guess they didn't include that. So, but still, wow, brilliant book. Totally, totally brilliant.